Thanks, sir. Good morning, and distinguished members of the Aviation Subcommittee. Thank you for the opportunity to testify before you today. I was asked here because in addition to nearly 20 years of service as an FAA Aerospace Certification Engineer, I also serve as the Aircraft Certification National Representative for NATCA. We represent aviation safety professionals, including aerospace certification engineers, flight test pilots, and technical and administrative personnel, approximately 20 of whom were involved in the type certification or TC process for the Eclipse EA 500 aircraft. Since the summer of 2001, these employees witnessed the FAA acting in a way that was neglectful to their duty as industry regulators and irresponsible to the flying public. These employees were pressured to expedite the TC process, harassed by management, and had their professional assessments ignored. As a result, an aircraft was allowed to enter the market without complying with federal aircraft safety standards and regulations. NATCA filed a grievance over the FAA's inappropriate behavior, which is still in arbitration. At the time of final certification, there were many outstanding problems that had been identified by the engineers and pilots. These problems included pitot tube drainage issues and the airspeed indicating system, which failed due to freezing condensation in service. Problems with the electronics suite caused the pilot screen to blank out and engines to operate in an uncontrollable manner. In some cases, FAA management allowed these concerns to fall through the cracks, while at other times it deliberately chose to ignore the technical reports that identified these problems in order to grant the TC without significant limitations. In the months following the TC issuance, the problems identified by the engineers manifested during aircraft operation, putting the public at risk. Why, if frontline engineers had been able to identify these problems, did the FAA not act to ensure the concerns were addressed? The agency has faulty priorities that focus on the business goals of the private sector rather than protecting the safety of the flying public. During a meeting between engineers and FAA management, John Hickey, Air-1, told the group, "We are here to save this company, Eclipse." When one engineer responded that his job was to make sure the aircraft complied with the safety regulations, he was rebuked by Mr. Hickey, who then went on to intimidate and verbally attack each individual on the team. This focus was codified in the FAA's 2006 business plan, which included the goal of certifying a very light jet by the end of the fiscal year. The pay system work rules that were unilaterally imposed on the Aircraft Certification Bargaining Unit on July 10th of 2005 included a pay-for-performance system that rewarded managers for achieving goals outlined in the FAA's business plan. In other words, managers would be given bonuses for certifying the Eclipse 500 before September 30th, 2006. By September 29th, 2006, the Eclipse 500 jet had not yet been approved. With the fiscal year about to end, bargaining unit engineers were harassed and pressured to sign off on a TC. That day, engineers responsible for each aspect of the aircraft refused to sign due to outstanding technical safety concerns. The following day, a Saturday, September 30th, the last day of the fiscal year, FAA management ordered the Eclipse project manager into work and convinced her to sign off on a document that approved all remaining aspects of the jet. This enabled FAA management to grant the TC before the end of the fiscal year, qualifying them for pay increases. This same compensation plan created avenues for management to penalize employees who refused to change their technical opinions in order to meet the business timeline for certification. Since filing the grievance, the union has been approached by employees who were prevented from receiving full raises as retributions for standing firm behind their safety findings during the Eclipse TC program. The FAA also relinquished its oversight responsibilities to the Eclipse program. As early as 2001, FAA committed to what they called optimal delegation to the maximum extent practicable, meaning that whenever possible, individuals selected by the company would act as surrogates of the FAA to determine compliance to safety standards. NATCA would like to offer 3 recommendations to this committee. First, amend Title 49 to allow the union to negotiate fair and professional pay procedures that encourage and reward compliance to the safety mission of the agency. Second, the FAA's pay-for-performance system should only include goals that directly improve the safety of the flying public. And finally, delegation must be restricted to individuals who are reviewed and approved directly by the FAA. The core function of aircraft certification must remain an inherently governmental function to be performed by federal employees. Thank you for this opportunity to testify.